What is actually considered financial advice, especially what's good financial advice? That's what we're gonna talk about in our video right now. I'm sure you've probably been given financial advice from all kinds of people. It could be your banker, your realtor, financial advisor, the broke one, of course, right? It might be the person that's your coworker. It could be your broke brother-in-law, trying to give you that financial advice because they took one economics class in college. Yes, I had that brother-in-law. Or it might even be your own kids trying to give you financial advice. No, son, I will not buy that freaking Bitcoin or Dogecoin, no matter what you say, okay? No, they're all trying to give you that advice, aren't they? But what's actually considered good financial advice? How do you know? That's what I want to dig in this video right now. All right, so what is financial advice and who can give it? Well, the truth is anyone can give you financial advice. The thing that was shocking to me when I started to really research this a little bit, I realized that someone can actually be called a financial advisor that doesn't have any licenses. Now, I used to think traditionally, and you might have thought this too, that financial planners are like certified financial planners, CFP. Yeah, they get licenses to do stuff, right? There's also people that have securities licenses where they can sell you mutual funds, insurance licenses. There's insurance agents and people like that that can also give you advice and financial advice in general. And a lot of times they'd be called financial advisors. I'm the anti-financial advisor because I used to be a financial advisor 20 years ago, realized it was all crap and nobody was financially free off that advice. So then I actually got myself financially free and became like the anti-financial advisor. I can give financial advice. And the truth is anybody can give financial advice. You go on TikTok, YouTube, there's so many social media influencers giving financial advice. Some of them have barely done anything with their finances for like 5 years, but somehow they're experts, right? And the thing is you have to figure out, how do I weed through that advice? Like what do I know is actually good? What's not good? And I'll tell you, there's a lot of good information out there, but there's a crap load, just a ton of bad information out there as well, or just information that just has only truth with context. And that's one thing we want to talk about today is really like which advice is good. How do you know if someone has given you good financial advice? How do you know it actually is going to work? Well, that's one thing I want to talk about right now is what is that financial advice? Personally for me, I like to get advice from people that have been there, done that, and they're still doing it today. I like to see someone who's actually proven it, not someone who just read a book. Maybe they read Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover, and now they're an expert apparently. I don't want somebody who read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and somehow they're an expert on passive income, but they've never done it before, and they philosophize and theorize all day long, but in their own laboratory of their own lives, they haven't done it themselves. Now, I get it. Everybody has to start somewhere. It's not that they can't give you good advice. It's not that they can't speak and regurgitate information, and that's good. I like when I get information, but remember to take it with a grain of salt. What have they actually accomplished in their own lives? I hope that you're watching this Money Ripples channel. By the way, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But if you're on this Money Ripples channel, you're probably thinking, all right, is this guy full of crap? Is he just trying to sell me something? What is it he's doing here? Well, the truth is, guys, yes, and yes. Wait, I guess so. My wife would say I'm full of crap sometimes, and I am. But at the same time, am I selling you something? Yeah, I am selling you a lot of information. Does my company offer services? You bet we do. Yeah, we do offer a couple services that we specialize in. But for the most part, this value I'm trying to give you here is based on real life experience. Because if I were to go back here, I was a financial advisor for 4 years. I was the guy that was a salesman in a suit trying to sell you on the things you should be doing with your money, right? You should be investing in these mutual funds. You should be paying off your debt. Just set and forget it. Don't even try to invest money on your own because you lack the time, the training, and the temperament. We call it the 3 T's as financial advisors. We never actually told clients that, but we would actually tell it to each other internally, they lack the time, the training, and the temperament. Basically, you don't have enough self-control and you're basically too much of an idiot to do it yourself. That's really what financial advisors think about you and your investing. Therefore, the best thing you can do is put your money with us because we're gonna take your money, we're gonna invest it, we're gonna do a better job. Although in truth, we really have no clue what we're doing. Now, that's not anything I ever said at the time, but if I were being fully blatantly honest, that's really what it was, is that I was guessing the stock market was gonna create a return. I was guessing that if you go in these certain types of funds, over time, you should be able to become financially free, just as long as inflation stays really, really low or non-existent, which never happens. And of course, if the market returns a certain return that never actually has happened long-term over time, but I tell people it has because I got charts to prove it, supposedly, right? That's really what you're getting for financial advice. But here's the thing that rocked my world. This is what got me to leave being a financial advisor, was when I was talking with a friend that I trained to be a financial advisor, but then he quit. And he went to go do real estate investing. Now, I thought this guy would be broke. I remember calling him up. It was in between the week between Christmas and New Year's. I called him up. I would want to hear about what's going on in his life. Hopefully, he want to come back to work for me because, hey, we got to have an army out there teaching all this crap, right? Well, I started to talk to him. He says, Chris, my life is amazing right now, My dad and I have been partnering on some real estate deals, and we doubled his income as a professor at the local university. I said, come on, that's too good to be true. There's no way that's possible. My little tiny financial advisor brain can't fathom this. He said, but Chris, it's true. He's like, in fact, let me ask you this question, Chris. What financial principles do you teach your clients? Principles? What do you mean by principles? You talking about like the Rule 72, compounding interest? I know that one. How about dollar cost averaging? I know that one. He's like, not even close, Chris. Second, how many of your clients are truly financially free where they don't worry about money? Oh, don't worry about money? Well, they all worry about money. Even if they're retired, they still worry about running out of money too soon. So I'd say 0. Good job, Chris. Way to help no one. Oh, don't worry, it wasn't just me. Other financial advisors helped them decades before too. Even worse, Chris. Okay, well, how about this? How many of you guys as financial advisors are financially free, not off the commissions you're earning, but actually doing these investments? And as I considered it, I thought, well, I know there's guys working here since the late 1970s, which is when I was born. So I'd say none of them. They're all pretty much working still because they don't have enough to retire. There's your problem, Chris. And he hit me between the eyes with it because the truth is, I mean, they couldn't retire. I couldn't retire. My dad, who did everything perfectly, paid off his debt and saved in his 401k with a match, just like every good boy and good girl should, he couldn't retire either. Nobody could retire that I could find that was really financially independent unless they were some business owner that sold their business for millions and then made it. Or they completely rejected financial advisors, laughed at them in their faces, even some of the ones I met with, and then went and did real estate investing, and then they became financially independent in their 20s and 30s even. And so I realized pretty quickly, I'm like, well, there's no evidence that this even works. And that's the thing, when you're looking for financial advice, and this is what I did too, like in life in general, I like to find people that proven a strategy. They've proven what they're doing. Remember when my friend asked me, what principles do you teach? I didn't realize that there were principles to even understand. For example, many people say a principle is pay off your debt. No, that's a strategy. That works sometimes, but not all the time. What about somebody who's a good steward of their money? What if they know how to make more than the debt they pay on? For example, I have a 3.99% car loan. Now, why would I have that when I have more than enough cash to pay that and free and clear? Because I can make more than 3.99% with my money. So I love using cheap bank money for buying houses, cars, things that give me low interest rates. Heck, even my student loan, I didn't pay off for 15 years because I did not want to pay for something that I knew I could make more money. It was charging me 3.6%. Why would I pay off early? That's why. But a person that says, no, the principle is pay off your debt always and always, you know who I'm talking about, Dave Ramsey, he wants to tell you that. Well, guess what? That's a strategy, not a principle, because it depends on the person. If they're a spender, yes, they should pay off your debt. If they're a disciplined saver or an investor, maybe not so much. Maybe they could do better with their money and actually become financially free faster than what he teaches. But again, he just does blanket statements saying this is always true. That's not a principle, that's a strategy. The principle, though, that he teaches that is true is produce more than you consume or earn more than what you spend. That totally makes sense. That's a principle. Another principle, exchange creates wealth. The faster that your money changes hands, especially when it comes back to you, the faster you make money, right? The faster you go and create value in your business, in your job, whatever you're doing. Dollars follow value. If you create value for people, you solve problems and serve them, you'll make more money. Those are principles. That's what my friend was talking about, but I had no clue what he was referring to. Just so you know, when I learned a lot of those principles, especially those principles of abundance and principles of prosperity and wealth that have actually worked for generations of time, regardless of situations, regardless of markets and everything else, once I realized that, it became very easy and almost methodical, formulaic to create and make more money, and therefore create wealth and keep wealth. And so that's the thing. High risk creates high return. Myth. No, low risk creates higher returns, because if you don't lose money, you can make more money. The problem is a lot of people will take unnecessary risks because that's what the financial companies had taught them for so many years. So just understand that it's truly about those principles first, then strategy second. Now, like I said, you find somebody to mentor you that actually has been there, done that, still doing it today. And so how do you find those people? I like for people to have good track records. I don't just look for influencers that have only been out for a few years. They tried one thing. It's like my friend he's 29 years old. He's vested in mutual funds. The market's never gone down. He doesn't even know what a down market is. Heck, I was in the financial world when he was in first grade. If you think about it that way. I saw different things in different markets, and so I had more experience. So I like to find people that have a little bit of experience under their belt, people that got kicked in the teeth a few times from bad lessons that they learned to then become stronger and better for it. Those are the kind of people that I like to follow. Those are the people that often aren't the best marketers or social media influencers, sadly enough. That's why I'm here creating these videos for you. By the way, if this is helping you, be sure to subscribe to this, because that's what I'm trying to teach you here. In fact, that's going to be my call to action right now, is that I've got a wealth of things I've done. I've been able to, like I said, financially independent twice. Why? Because I screwed up the first time, had to do it again. But I got financially independent twice. Most people never get to do that in their lifetime. I did it twice by the time I was 39. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that I was my own laboratory. I had to prove in my own life, just like you have to prove it in yours too. And I'll tell you, the great thing is it's not just in my own life, but we've had many, many other people, a lot of our own consulting clients, prove the same thing over and over and over again. The same thing can happen for you, but you got to make sure you're getting good, wise counsel from those that actually have wisdom and have been there and done that, and they're still financially prosperous today. Get financial advice from people that have actually been there and done that. Those are the people you go to, not the people that just barely did it or invest in that little, Bitcoin and then out of no control of their own made a lot of money from it. Great, so did I. That doesn't mean I'm an amazing investor. That just means I got lucky, right? I rode a wave. The people that are always going to give you the best advice are those that make money even when it's not easy to make money. Those are the people I would listen to. If you want to be able to do that, follow our channel for more videos here at Money Ripples and check that out now.